what time on November 25th?
She didn't give me a time, but she sent me an email today, and she asked for,
Is this an evening or in the morning?
it would have to be in the morning for her.
I can't be, I have a work study through work.
Well, she's
Study
planning,
for work. You already do that?
anybody's
Work
welcome,
study for work.
but she's planning to, with Noel and I.
Okay. I'm
And-
just saying I can't be here because I can't miss that. Because, I mean, my boss is paying like thousands of dollars for our training,
Yeah,
and it's the 25th and 26th.
if she'll allow me to.
Video?
Well, I could video it too. I only did, I got permission for the one meeting that I had on the 7th to record it. Walt was there. Is it Andy?
Yes.
Andy. Andy was there, and it's all recorded voice. And I emailed everybody and said if you wanted to hear that,
I'm good, how are you?
I'd be glad to let you hear
Now,
that.
is this to get that payment that we need to do squared up so that we can start receiving our liquid fuel again?
Yes, and that's what she's coming. She is the one that will, once we get that certificate, I didn't know whether you wanted to do this. I'll answer all your questions if you want to wait until we
Okay.
Till we
that's
fire
fine.
up here.
That's fine, that's fine.
I'm glad to tell you. I mean, anything.
Sure.
That certificate of clearance is what we have to get. Did we ever pay that $2,600?
That I'm
I'm
aware
still
of.
trying to figure out how to
The
get it
issue
there.
was addressed.
It was addressed, but we
Yes,
haven't paid
the
it.
issue was addressed. We are trying to get our accounts in order, and I didn't want to repay it if it was already repaid, because it was supposed to be repaid at the beginning of the year when we first got our audit taken care of.
That's what I
And I
thought.
did not, exactly, and I,
But
with
you
the
don't have, you
transferring-
don't have anything?
with
I don't have any.
Mr. Spade, could you wait a minute,
I'm
please?
sorry, I apologize. Am I
With the
forgiven?
transferring of secretaries,
Yeah,
and we're having Scott go over our accounts,
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that it wasn't already paid, because I didn't want to take it out of the accounts twice.
right.
So the president did address the issue, and I was aware of it, and that is why it wasn't taken care of. But
There's
it
no
will-
check.
we couldn't find it, and she was already told,
Yeah,
take care of it.
I'm finding out like how to go about it, cause like I can write checks from the liquid fuels and put it in the general fund like I do with reimbursing the paychecks. But I don't know how to go about,
Put general
Writing.
fund money into liquid
Yes.
fuel.
But Scott
so
and I
I'm,
did
I'm figuring
She's
that
gonna
out.
explain all that on Monday.
Yeah, Scott and I have discussed this, and I have talked to him about what would happen if we paid it and then discovered it was already paid, and he said, all you do is transfer the money, so we've already just, we're just gonna go ahead and do it.
Well, according to them, there's no record of ever being paid.
Exactly, so we're gonna go ahead and do it, but
That'd be good.
that's a big chunk of money, and I wanted to make sure
Yeah,
before we did it.
well, I think we should pay it, even if we paid it twice, they can reimburse us, but for us to not to reimburse it, we're gonna lose $26,000.
Well, it's not, it's not it's not going anywhere, it's going from one account to another.
I know.
So, I mean, it's not like it's leaving the borough. I mean, that's what I was discussing with Scott. It's not like it's going anywhere, it's not leaving the borough.
But when it's straightened out, we'll have that more liquid fuel.
Correct,
Add that to the 22 that we have now, so.
correct. So
You'll see my talking points, my first subject is Mrs. Ammon that's coming on 25th.
you guys want to
she
get
can-
this rolling? I mean, we can start early if you want, I don't care.
Might as well.
Are you all right?
I was
I'm good
just
with
chit
it.
chatting. Yeah, you're the boss. You turn this on.
Friday night, let's do it.
This is date night, and I'm missing.
Tell me about it.
I don't even know
So
how to
am
know what
I.
that means exactly.
What's the
I
matter?
have a date with my bed.
See?
I have a
It's
deal
date
with
night.
my charting. Oh my gosh, I have so many
Okay.
cards over this. Moment of silence, please. Pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right.
President Barty Trent.
Here.
Vice President Joe Adams.
Here.
Tom Glass. Robert Lee.
Here.
Jack Root. Reverend Gerald Spade.
Here,
Kevin Swager.
Yes.
Mayor Margaret Madalena.
Swear on Margaret's short, right there.
Anything from visitors and guests? Nope.
I'm just here for a party.
Okay. You have marked your meeting with Rebecca as Reverend Spade. That's the one you met with on the 7th. Is that correct?
that's correct.
Okay. How did that go?
We had a lot of specifics, but I don't know how conduct you want me to go with it, but this folder is full of what we did.
Give me
And
the
I-
Reader's Digest version.
Read the digest. Synopsis. I have two synopses of, all of us, all the personnel, and maintenance, and myself, and Ms. Rebecca Holder, went and looked at several prospective places, which was Wood and Spruce, and Railroad Street, and Union or Union Street from Pine, I thought it was to Laurel, but it's not, according to her synopsis here.
It should, though,
she's
because
not-
it's bad.
Yeah, it is bad.
Yeah, she-
And I really, in my opinion, I would have liked that to be the first. She doesn't think that that's a high priority.
Well, the way we went before, the way of travel. Go by what's traveled the most, and that's prioritized. But I would think Pine, at least right in front of your place with the beauty shops there, the school, they have the school, dancing school there. I mean, that's kind of, to me, traveled a lot, at least for
We
me.
haven't done any studies, to answer your question, we haven't done any studies on any of these projects, but we delineated these three. We can apply for all three of these at a ceiling of $75,000. Now, the Spruce and Wood, she estimated it'd probably be 45. And the top priority for her was East Railroad Street would be ideal. And then we have some issues there. She has it in the synopsis. I'll send these around. I didn't make copies of these, but once we get the applications done, I started one. I'm prejudiced, so and this is where I'll need Mr. Adams' signature. You can pass this around. This is the start of the application process. She went ahead without us, and I was very apologetic to her, and I've told everyone here I thought it was unfair. And I didn't think we should do anything without a resolution to the fact. And each one of you received a copy of the resolution that I'm going to make a motion later. So,
It's the
and
one
so
before
each project has a ceiling of 75,000. She thinks that the East Railroad will get it first, then Spruce and Wood would be second. We may only get one. The nice part about this, and Mr. Huey can correct me, we got points, 10 points. I had it. It's a total of 35 points we got towards grants. You need 219. We had a good start just having that meeting. That's how important it is to meet with these people. And we got points for 15 points for first time application, 15 points for meeting with her, and 5 other points I could not figure out what
Is
it
this
was.
something new that they just started, this point system?
To see if the boroughs or municipalities are willing to go through with it
Yes.
and more interested in it.
Well, the reason I say that is we applied last year for the pipe under the road down there at the Taj Mahal, which is on 4th Street.
That's under a whole new
Yeah.
issue, and that is in the hands of DEP. Miss Holder, Jason Snyder, who I got 3 emails from in the last week. He's just recovering from his heart surgery.
Mhm.
So I was praising God for that he's doing much better. Anyway, he's been corresponding with me, and if there's anything that he can do, he is ready, and he is very aggressive in getting help. And he's free. Rebecca's free. We don't have to do anything like in-kind services to get these grants. They will pay us for our machine. They will pay Walt to work. And they'll put him on a dozer. If they need a dozer, they'll rent the equipment. They'll put Walter on it. He's a dozer operator. That's how nice this thing was. That's why I was panicking. Boy, if we don't get the grant applications in before, she said it's all right if I get them there the 2nd in the morning.
But here's what I need you to do.
Okay.
Okay, this is what I
Am I
need you to
talking
do,
too
because
long?
this is what I was afraid of, okay? I'm being overwhelmed with emails.
Oh, this is me.
Members of council have come to me, we're being overwhelmed with emails. This is what I need you to do. When you have something this important, that is this time sensitive, I need you to pick up the phone and I need you to call me on my cell phone.
I can
okay?
do that.
I need you to interrupt me at work and call me
Well,
on
I'd
my
just
cell
like
phone.
to give you the evidence in an email.
No, I
and you can
understand
read
that.
it whenever you want to.
But
I don't
Reverend
wanna
Spade,
interrupt you.
I need you to interrupt me at work, and I need you to say, Barbie, this is what's going on at the borough.
Okay.
This is time sensitive.
It is.
I'm gonna send you an email, and when you get home tonight, I need you to look at it. And by the way, I didn't get that email that you sent me about, and you told me.
Really?
Yes, that's what.
We're looking at $150,000.
I have Hotmail, for crying out loud. Hotmail is like AOL, okay? It's prehistoric email. I actually, no
I
lie.
apologize.
No
that
lie,
didn't
I
call you
registered for something the other day. I put down my email account and they told me that it was not a legitimate email account.
there.
No lie. And it's a Hotmail, because it's a Hotmail account.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I need you to do.
There is a
because I
fight between
don't-
Google and Microsoft, so.
That was it. They're
Excuse me.
fighting.
Yeah, my new computer, i7, will not allow me to see Chrome. It won't allow me.
No.
It opens up, but it's total black and white. There's no writing, no nothing.
Because this needs to be handled. This is something that the borough can benefit from.
Yes.
And are you telling me that these roads can be done and it's not gonna cost the borough an arm and a leg?
Nothing. Isn't that wonderful? That's why I was panicking. I want to get this in. You know when you have to wait? You have to wait again to next December to do it. And I'd like to see it. April, I have it set here, from April to October they can do this. And so I have the starting date in April.
So we can get $75,000, the ceiling is set at $75,000, so we can do roads up to $75,000 without it costing the borough anything.
For each project.
Yeah.
If you want to put 7 projects in, each one of them has a ceiling of $75,000. And I sent this down to her and I said, is this okay? And she said it's 100% okay, but you don't need it. They're willing to go ahead just on my say so. And I said, no, we don't do that. We are a council. We do not act on our own. It has to be a council thing. Well, your roadmaster should do it. I said, we're not township. We don't have a roadmaster. And so we need a resolution, in my opinion, that they can see this is what we understand and this is, and she said, that's exactly what I told you.
Well, that is
I
also
have all my
protecting,
emails too to protect
that is also
myself.
protecting you. Because when you act on your own,
That's
and
right.
just like you said, we are a council.
I mean, I'll throw all this stuff away if the council says,
I
I don't wanna do it.
I don't think so.
I didn't wanna go and
Slow
do
your roll.
another 40 hours of work and have it thrown down. I wanna make sure that we're on the same page with this. If there's any other questions that you have, did I send around all those,
This,
well, no, that's just my talking points. Did I send those,
Where's the money?
oh, here,
Where's
this
the money?
is a
Grant
program,
It's a grant.
if
that
you
we
see
get.
section
From state or
9.1,
federal?
no, it's state.
State.
Yeah.
If it's in the vehicle code, section 9106. This is dirt and gravel, low volume road maintenance grant application is the,
and you
Title.
sat in on this, Walt, right?
Yes.
Do we have to
Did I
match
lie?
anything?
did I lie?
No, we don't match, that's right.
We don't match anything.
I asked her that, there's no cost to
Here,
us,
here, Kelly.
There's no cost to this, and we
Yeah.
get $75,000 to fix these roads.
up to 75.
Yeah, and this doesn't
Per
affect,
project, now we won't get all the projects done.
she
I think we only go
estimated,
2 or 3.
she estimated wood and spruce at about 45,000.
What part of Spruce are you talking
Right
about?
here, down to the intersection.
Well, the first, you mean to tie it in to where it's already been, well,
Yes.
you know there's 2 cross drains have to be put in there first.
That's
Well,
all
that's
through her
one and a half.
synopsis
Okay.
there, maybe you can
She
look at
already
it.
fixed she's fixing the cross drains with them?
She has a tentative, I mean, there's a lot more work to this application. And that's why I was panicking that we're coming up to Thanksgiving. And to really throw all this on her, but she told me today she's willing to do it if we want to go ahead.
And it's not paving, Barb, what she's doing down here on Railroad Street, down there, it's a new product coming out. She said there after the first couple of rains, it get like muddy, but when it dries, it gets hard as cement.
Is it
Yes.
like the stuff that they put on in front of the tipple up there, where it's not really a paving, but it's like that tan?
Oh,
Is that-
I don't know, she said you get some runoff, that's why it has to be done in them months when the dry time.
that's supposed to be something to take the slippiness out of all them.
Yeah,
corners.
that's for it.
They did Bellwood Mountain with it too.
It's like for
It's probably,
traction in the winter.
it's probably going to be something like this. They do paving. If we specify that we want paving, they'll do paving. But what they're gonna do is take and dig up, that street a foot deep because the foundation is bad. That's why all those potholes that are there. And she said, if you look at her synopsis there, she actually has a picture of the area that we're gonna be doing. It's only a short section. But I would imagine that's gonna be anywhere from $35,000 to $50,000. But she said that one would probably get the grant immediately. She calls that a high priority one. Second is wood and spruce, and last would be union. If you don't wanna if council does not wanna do any of those were just prospective ones. If you say you want to do, anywhere in the borough, that's fine. Whoever's going to work on these grants, and I definitely need our honorable vice president's signature because he has the certification. If he doesn't have the ESM certification, we have a no-go.
I have.
I know
don't where
you
it
have
is.
it.
I know I have it,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
She
exactly
could probably
where
look you up. If not, we could call that Sean Augusta, and he would know who to contact to get the program. He was very helpful also.
Okay, now we do these this year. Does that disqualify us for other years? Like,
No.
could we?
No, next December at this time, you can do it all over again for any other projects you want. If you know of something that's more drastic than East Railroad Street, or Spruce and Wood, or Union, hey, we're open to it, and I mean, I'm ready to go, but I did not want to do anything without permission of council.
How long do they say that the roads usually last after they do this? I mean, what's the?
When they do that foundation, boy, did you remember what she
8 to
said?
10, I think.
8 to
Well,
10.
wait,
10 years?
8 to
Wow,
10.
You said that if.
Oh, no.
But
Michael?
I thought Calvin was going to be here tonight. I talked to him this afternoon. He wanted to come. Maybe he played out. He was cleaning the garage. But he was all excited about that. But she has it mapped out so that it'll be clear what we're proposing. But the applications do take time. She's done the measurements already. She did that weeks ago. And I thought she hadn't started yet. So she was going ahead. And she said I didn't even need to bring it before council. So, but I said I don't work that way.
No, that's the proper way to do it though.
No matter, how'd she say it? No matter if you don't get a vote tonight for it, they could start it on it, and at least you would be in the.
But we'd be
The
foolish
review.
not to go with it.
I agree.
I was gonna say, if everything you're saying is accurate, which I have no
Why-
reason to
why would we
think
not?
otherwise, I don't see a single reason not to do it.
I agree.
I mean, if someone came to me and said, fill out this paperwork and we'll put a new roof in your house, and it's not gonna cost you anything,
Thank you, counselor.
I will take the new roof.
With
But
that,
have
then
their
then I'll,
signature on it.
Yeah.
I think everybody, our borough secretary graciously took my email and give you a copy of the resolution. If you, I think I also sent it to everybody, but she printed it out so that we could adopt it if you want to do this. If you don't hurt my feeling, because I didn't put a lot of work in it, because I wanted to make sure that this is what you want to do. When I went to seminar, this was what I learned. And I learned micro paving, which I think it looks just like paving, but it's only that thin. It's only about a 1/2 inch thick. It's got a binder in it. That it's pretty expensive, but what she wants to do is the dirt and gravel, and it's more gravel than it is. It's a base that they're going to put down underneath. They may even put a blanket. What is it?
Yeah, it's a
Microfiber.
blanket for,
Black microfiber.
Yeah, one of them actually blocks water from coming up through it.
Right.
The other one is to distribute the weight out over a larger area so that it's not supposed to break up as bad.
But when all this gravel is rolled in properly, it becomes like cement almost, because it's
Okay.
and as I said, if you doubt anything, I have the verbal digital recording of our meeting, which she graciously gave me the permission to.
You're fine.
Okay.
So I have a motion on the floor for, to pass a resolution for the project for grant funding for streets, or do I have a motion?
Well, yes, my motion
I'm
is the
sorry.
resolution, which I thought, so
Do I
I
have
need
a
a second.
second for the resolution
I'll second for,
for the project for grant funding for streets?
yes, I will second it.
All in favor signify by aye.
Aye. Roll call vote, please.
President Barbie Trent,
Yes.
Vice President Joe Adam,
Yes.
Robert Lee,
Yes.
Jack Root, Gerald Spade,
Yes.
Kevin Swager.
Yes.
Now,
Thank you very
do you
much.
feel
all
better?
council.
Would you like to have this addressed then and actually done then?
Yeah, there'll be a number on it and signed and sealed by
All right.
the appropriate
Is there
person.
anywhere in town you want your statue, Jerry, or?
I don't want any credit for it.
You could.
She did. She did. I was just afraid.
Pumps used to be at Slow Cost when I
which-
raised.
I was just afraid
Is
that
that the
this was too much work for her.
Is that the
She
one you're gonna
reaffirmed-
seal?
Yeah.
Uh,
Hand it
I
over
paid
so I can
for it.
sign it.
She reassured me today that it's fine.
She's paid.
You have this in blue.
That was a good job, that was good work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's wrong with it being blue?
Thank you for your
Officially, it
help.
should be in black.
Good, I don't wanna see
It
us
can be in
lose
blue.
out on one.
What's
Okay.
that?
I don't wanna see us lose out on
I don't
one,
have
you
one
know?
in my desk right now.
Okay, I'll get you a black pen
You
for
wanna
your
say,
best.
as much work as you put
I'm
into
not
it,
giving
I
it
wanted
away,
to
I'll
see
let
at
you
least
use
get
it.
the- You know, it would have been fair for you to not get it with all the work you put into it.
I lost the paper. Oh, there it is. Thank you, counselors. And I thank her, Miss Rebecca Holder of Dirt and Gravel. She's the project coordinator on that. She's not the reviewer, so she can't guarantee anything. But at least she feels that East Railroad will fly.
Yeah,
And
there's no
Walt's-
problem with that.
Wall heard that.
Okay, I'm not sure if it was last meeting or when we did this, we made a motion about donating or paying Mr. Repack with the flood project so that we could close out that account. Mr. Repack has donated the money back to the borough.
And I also have the email printed off that I sent to him and his reply, just in case anybody wanted to see that he did send it back to the borough as a donation.
So I wanted to make everyone aware that Mr. Repack has donated that money back to the borough. So that money will be transferred into the general account and the flood project will be
Closed down.
closed out.
It wasn't very much, was it?
It was
It was
30.
$33.23.
Probably not an insult to them.
Yeah, I felt
I'm
kind of
hoping
bad
not,
sending the
but-
email.
Okay, the 2020 budget.
I did get the numbers from the Keystone Collection for the EIT and LST that's projected for next year. I got the paper from her and everything, so you guys know that that's exactly where I got it from. And I also included, the bills that had been paid this month and the amount that was put into the account. QuickBooks did that weird printing thing again, so.
Speaking of the budget, we had a line item for donations, and I've sensed,
We're not allowed to donate.
we're not allowed to donate. So that line, I respectfully ask that be taken out of the budget. There's a conformity to equity, statute,
Where is that one at?
and
It was already taken out.
Oh, okay.
yeah, I took it out, but I just wanted to make sure everybody had known of that. Conformity to equity would mean if we give a donation to one party, we have to give it to all parties that ask us, and that could fall into a big problem. So, and that was underneath donations to the fire department. So I respectfully requested that to be taken out. Which will take a motion probably to do that, because unless you're opening up the budget for discussion, I've been watching, it hasn't been advertised. Arvona is advertised 5 times.
What do you mean the budget hasn't been advertised?
I don't see it in the public notices. In the newspaper. I've been watching.
It's usually in that, what's the real small print is what it's,
Legal notices.
that's what it's.
Oh, is it
Thank
in
you.
legal notices?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Stand corrected. Arvona's is in public notice
oh, okay.
to see it.
Yeah, the only thing with the ones that, though you do need a magnifying glass sometimes to read them, but they are fine.
Do you actually have the budget printed in there?
We don't print the budget, it's advertised that it can be viewed at the borough building.
Okay. Well, Arvona's is in the public notice area, over in
They
the
just,
classified.
they put where it can be viewed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all we
since
have
We
to
only
do.
had the tentative budget, I didn't put it out on the board or anything like that yet. Cause we were still missing those couple of line items.
Oh, okay. So what did you get for EIT?
The EIT, she said that we would get roughly 34,000. And then for the local service tax, she estimated 800 for that.
Local,
Service tax, it's, the Act 511
Act
taxes
511
down at the
volunteers.
bottom.
How much she say, 35,
34,
34, and what was the other one?
800 for the local service tax.
It's on this paper, the one that's bigger print.
we have a,
34,000 seems kind of high. doesn't it?
where is
That's
your
what she
copy of
projected.
this?
You found it?
I'm sorry. I'm looking at mine. It was here,
I guess that should look
What?
like that.
what, because I have fire service on it.
Okay.
Look, local, $800 for,
Yeah, the local,
All right.
34 for the other one.
I still think that's high.
that's more than it was last year.
I know that's what Keystone's projecting, but I just think it's high.
I think that one sounds a little bit high. Whether you get it or not, that's. Of course, there's some stuff at the end of December and January does trickle in, but it's not usually.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
You're welcome. Not a whole lot.
I guess I do. Wow. Well, that'll balance our budget. We needed that high number.
Yeah, but rubber and spade, when you do a budget, you want to keep your revenues down meaningfully low and your expenditures high, because then at the,
Well, then it won't be balanced. I'd rather have my income higher.
you would rather, but whenever it comes down to it, whenever your income doesn't bring in as much and your bills are higher than you expected, you're kind of screwed.
Well, what I had was 89,926 .29 cents. With the 34 on top of that, our income's going to be greater than our bills, so that's good. If
Our
it was-
income is still gonna be greater than our bills,
That's great.
but I just don't like to figure that high, because I don't want us to be expecting that amount of money and then not get it.
Or even come close to it.
Correct.
Well, we have to show a balanced budget. I mean, we can't show that we have less income coming in. They'll say something to us if we have that.
No doubt.
So,
The only good thing about this, if the first part of January, if you have any more information, this budget can be opened back up and it can be
Absolutely.
corrected this year,
absolutely.
because it's an even year coming up, and you can do it.
Well, I'm glad EIT is up there, because the way I had it on here, I don't think they would have flown, because our expenditures were more than the money we had.
I'm
And that's
just not comfortable with $34,000.
What was
I'm
it
not
last year?
comfortable with
What was
it.
26. I mean, we could say 26. if
Yeah,
you-
we're
Well, I
probably
would
gonna be
rather,
losing.
why don't we go in the middle and say 30?
Yeah, because
You can do what, we can
you know,
do
we
whatever.
probably
we want.
lost. I mean, we're probably gonna lose some money with people retiring.
Yeah.
That's like the real estate at the top. That used to be 55 to 58 every year.
And now
And
we're
that's,
down to 45.
Yeah, it's just every year we're losing more and more money.
Is it 15 days before we adopt this that they have to see it?
I think so.
Yeah. We really need to see this in the, that it's ready to see, that people are able to see it.
Yeah, so I can make this correction and then have it at least posted out on the board
Okay,
tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, but Monday morning.
thank you.
What was our what did we budget our expenditures last year for gross wages? What was it?
It was-
It,
10,000 less.
yeah, it was about 35.
But we're budgeting in raises to Mr. Bowie,
and it'll be,
Ms. Trent, and
and if it goes
Mr.
the way they're
Most-
talking,
Most-
Morrissey.
2021 will be 975 is what that's the projected wage that the state wants to go with. It was on the news the other night.
For minimum or 975?
975 for minimum.
correct me if I'm wrong, I
Oh,
think
it's
we're
small.
gonna go 10 and 9 and
Nine and
9. Projected. The new council has to do it.
I saw the same thing, that it passed for 975.
Minimum
Yeah, when they
wage,
wanted to jump it to
Yep.
12 plus, that was a
Oh,
lot.
now, wait a
Just too
minute.
much
You know-
when does it go into effect?
2021?
Oh, okay, we're good.
2021.
Okay, I'm gonna say 2021.
I was in a panic because I thought, oh, wait a minute, we're gonna have to redo the budget because we only did
That's still a
10, 9,
big
and
jump.
9.
That's still a big jump for
Yeah.
really.
But it's
a
not
year.
as bad as going to like 1250 or 15.
Yeah, I
If they went
understand
to
that.
that much.
But I'm still wondering where a lot of these small businesses are going to be able to survive. You know, and it's
Exactly.
just not going to happen.
Even if when it starts to creep toward 12, you'll have one employee.
Oh, it's
Is
going to be
what
a
it'll
monopoly.
be, and you're gonna
It's-
have to work off of that bigger projects with prisoners and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they
We
better.
have such a
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
time getting them now.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Actually, be truthful with you, come January
Yeah, the other
1st,
guy
she'll
would be
have to
alone.
start to put them in like for April and then the different months. You put them way in ahead of
I'll
time.
keep politics out of this, but let's hope we don't get a Democrat there because then all the jobs be going through the.
378 1001 or something like that's the prison number.
Yeah, I
Then
have it
Walt-
wrote down somewhere.
Yeah, it's in that green book that Walt has, and there's a cell phone number in there too for it.
You
the
said,
prison.
changing it to 30,000.
That green book I gave you,
Yeah.
that has the prison number in it too,
Oh, yeah.
and a cell phone number for them.
Do we,
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's what I have as his cell phone number.
Madam President, do
Yes.
we need a motion to do these corrections and make it a matter of record? Because we voted on the budget as it was.
We voted on a tentative budget,
Okay.
so we're tentatively.
Yeah, but I think we should make it a matter of record, in my opinion. I make a motion that we make the corrections with the EIT and deletion of donations under fire. And what was the other one? The $800 for
The local service.
local services. And that our honorable secretary posted.
Okay.
Now, with not being able to do a donation, you can still meet with them. There's probably not much time this year to do it, to do a percentage, if you wanted to do a percentage, but you need the contract is what you need.
We still need a contract with the
Yeah.
fire company regardless. Jack and I have talked about this, and regardless, we still need to meet with the fire
Well,
company, give them a contract.
I have an idea. I gave you a letter.
I haven't even had time to look at the letter, Roland Spade.
Did you know that you could put a surcharge on water and sewage.
Yeah, but people are already complaining about the price of the water and sewage now.
But that's not even our ballpark, that's their ballpark,
What's that?
the water and sewage.
Well, in the Borough of Clearfield, and I have an example.
But that's
I have
their-
the person's bill.
But that is their water and sewage company. That's not even our
But you
water
can
and
pass an ordinance that we put a that we put a surcharge on the water bill and sewage bill. This person pays $160 surcharge on her water bill, which is sewage is $172 and $165. I thought if you could put a $7 surcharge on each month for us.
Is that for 1 month right there?
No, that's for 3 months.
Okay, I was
That's-
gonna say.
That's
Yeah, I
like
was like,
that's like $100 a month is what they're paying.
What is Clearfield's
it's more
taxes?
than-
What is Clearfield's taxes mills compared to what Coalport is? There's more businesses down there where they can have lower,
Millage.
millage because they're bringing in more money. Where we can't do that. We can't do that.
Well, I don't know. I don't know whether Diane, do you know what Clearfield millage is? I had a sheet of millage. I know the county is 25 mills.
But still, they got businesses that are bringing in money. We just don't have that. I mean, you go to Clearfield. There's more businesses in Clearfield on one block than what the whole town of Coalport has, Reverend. I mean, and that's bringing them in revenue. We don't have that to be able to cut taxes to help people. It's
I don't see how, with the changes you want to do, that we can give anything to the fire company, and that's why I'm concerned. If we put, that's like almost $80 a year times the customers, and Michelle
But you
at the
know-
water company didn't give me the amount of customers. She said she would, but she's going to get me the list, not the names of people, but how many people in Coalport pay a water and sewage bill. And I was going to take that times, and I thought $7 a month onto your regular bill, which mine's like $84 or $85 time plus 7. I could give that to the fire company, and I think we would have that extra money for the fire company, and I don't think anybody would really decry the fact that we're paying $7 for the fire company. Then we have our revenue not expended out, and we can give our people raises and whatever else is coming along. That's what I'm pleading. I'm trying to find a way to get the firemen some money that's not going to hurt our revenue that we need a new roof, and I think somebody said there's a company that will do it.
Yeah,
And for free.
there is somebody that will give us a roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I was just talking about a free roof. How do I get this?
yeah, the secretary and I knew about this, but I don't think, did we not slip it out?
I remember telling her,
I thought we
and I
did.
told Calvin, and
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I thought Calvin was going to be here.
Because we
but I-
said about waiting until the liquid fuels and stuff got sorted out first.
Yeah. Well, I think that our meeting on the 25th, and everybody's welcome. Anybody wants to be here.
I want to be here, but I can't be here. I
Well,
have to be.
I'll see if she'll allow me to video her and let her tell the story.
I would appreciate it. I
Okay.
mean, if it wasn't for work obligations, I mean, I need my
Works
job.
first.
I need my job. This seat
I-
as president does not pay my bills.
I
I need my
agree.
job.
But really, counselors need to think that they have to contribute 25 hours a week at least to do the work for the people. It's a volunteerism, but there is a lot more work than
It
what I-
is, and there's a lot of work that's done behind the scenes that people don't understand, and it's a lot of volunteer hours, and it's a lot of meetings, and it's a lot of crunching the numbers, and it's just a lot of work that people don't understand that we do.
Right. Thank you.
What is the time on that meeting on November 25th, do you know?
She doesn't know.
I asked her to
Oh,
tell me,
okay.
and she still hasn't told me. I've asked her twice. But she sent me an email today confirming, I have it here.
Well, that's just Monday coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's confirming she'll be here, and then on my talking points is the items that she wants to see.
Okay.
Did you see those under her name there, under the first subject? And, my visit is confirmed. If you could have the 2018 and the current 2019 liquid fuel bank statement. That's what she wants. And that would be very helpful. And then she's gonna help on a few other things that she hasn't addressed here. She didn't give me an agenda, but she did speak to me about it. But she is pushing for us, and I really appreciated that. We don't wanna lose $26,000.
Agreed.
Can't afford to.
Okay.
We have a motion still on the table.
Thank you.
What is it again?
So
to
for
make
the
the
budget,
corrections for the
do I have a
budget.
second? The corrections on the budget.
Did you make the corrections?
Bobby seconds. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Anything for the good of the borough?
I'm searching. What's the last one? I lost my paper. What was my last talking point there?
I don't know.
Sounds
Oh,
like the
here.
good of the borough would be everything Reverend Spade has in proposed for the streets. That sounds like that would be very good for the borough.
We didn't have an engineer for the last 2 years. I went to school with her at that road, and she sent a whole prospectus, and she said, we don't like to gouge, and she will work with you. She has documents in here to show you all the things that she did. Actually, you can see what she did. And if you want to see what Miss Holder has done, you go down to Hoop Up and go back the Hoop Up extension, back into Hoop Up, and you'll see a beautiful pipe in the ground. I think I mentioned that before. But, so she really gets right down there and works right with it. She'll work with us on our project and help us.
Now, is that back toward the water plant, or is that when you continue out through?
Continue
sure.
the whole way out to the end. It's
Okay.
almost to the end. It's about 1,000 feet from the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, an engineer for what?
Well, any projects that you need, I mean, those are one of the things that you're supposed to,
How much is it gonna cost
Yeah,
us
you can do it for
to
free.
hold on to her and keep her on board?
I don't know whether she has a retainer or anything there. I didn't read it real close. I did a month, or I had that ready to give to council on the 4th, and I forgot to give it to.
Okay, would
You can see the date that I got
she
it.
still would she be like, we have Stifler and McGraw now, so would she be,
Do we still have them?
Yes. we
Oh, I
do.
didn't know that you voted to.
well, that's what it was. I don't know if it's changed any.
But that's a consideration for when the new council that's in January.
Okay.
I mean.
Like, we don't
If you want
pay
this.
Stifler and McGraw a retainer or anything, we
No.
pay them as we need them.
Right,
But our reorganization meeting is when we do all of that and we reorganize the borough.
well, I'll leave this with you.
Okay.
She sent it to me because I requested it when I was
Okay.
talking to her. And you'll see
Okay.
the example of what she did.
Close that, Pin.
Here.
I didn't
What
close
door is
it.
it?
It's ADLER run.
Oh, Adler.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's,
Okay.
Michelle is the president of it, and she took the same course. This Roadmaster 2 course that was taken, she was at that. I sat beside her and we got to
I
talking.
thought you were in high school when you went to school.
Oh, no, this was,
I don't think you could
I
remember
forget
back
when
and
it
forth.
was. Right here she is, Michelle
Yeah.
Morrow. She wrote her name and address.
I
And
actually have a question. Where are we now, that our attorney is now the DA? What,
He is supposed to, he's supposed to refer us to somebody else. However, there were 2 attorneys that applied with us that sent us a letter of interest. So if he does not, refer us to somebody else, there will be a letter sent to that other attorney to see if he is still willing to take us on. However, the reason why we went with the attorney that we did, he was $10 an hour cheaper. And I was actually very impressed because the letter that he gave us was very detailed and I was impressed with what, he had to say. Whereas the other guy, it was very short, it was very curt, it wasn't as detailed. Ryan's was just so much more, I was just more impressed with it. And like I said, it was $10 cheaper, but it was just better all around. So, we do have this other guy to go with.
where's it leaving us with this Minimart situation? How long was Ryan gonna continue to help us? Or can
Until the
he?
beginning of the year. He can help us until the beginning of the year.
Okay.
I think it will die on December the 13th.
Positive this year.
That's
it
my
would be
opinion.
Just like that.
It will.
I mean, they'll drop it? Cause I don't think that'll
The
happen.
judge may not
I don't see
allow it
anything in
to
the last
go.
PSA,
Yeah,
they
I
talk
mean,
about a special.
He can dismiss it.
Because 1 year we had.
He can
to
do
have
a
it on
bunch
like
of things, but this is just
You
a
remember,
conference.
not many.
And then it may go into the next year before they
Yeah.
even hear it. If it goes that far,
I'm pretty
I'm-
sure this is
I'm
supposed to be
pretty
the
sure that-
First Monday and that would be.
I'm
the-
pretty sure that the conference is gonna kill it. Their claim. I'll be surprised if it goes further. But this conference now is just our attorney, their attorney, and the judge. And they have to have a pretty persuasive case. We've got too much in our resolution to,
Okay,
it's my opinion, but, which means nothing.
well, he felt pretty confident.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yeah, there's statutory strength on our side.
Do
And
we
it's
have-
regretful because a new real estate in here would be really nice.
It would, but
And I've heard for the first time while I was campaigning, the other side of the story from people in the community. They really felt that the family was gonna do some great things for us here in the community. And I can agree that there's not always that many people at something. I've actually gone over to the competitor in Altoona, and there wasn't that many people in there. But
No, you don't see people when they're in sheets sitting down and drinking.
I didn't mention anything.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Or
everybody knows
rudders.
a competitor.
They go in there and buy and leave. It's not. I
Yeah.
mean,
It's
there's
not,
no atmosphere to sit there and drink beer.
the thing of it is, it's
Yeah,
like
They
what
just sit there
Kelvin
and
said
gamble
that
at
night.
machines.
Excuse me.
There was some
What Kelvin said that night, if we would have had people in here that was just as much for it, we have to do with what the people want to do. We are here to vote for the people. We're here to work for the people.
Thank
And
you.
we actually had people who came forward stating, I don't want this. We don't want this in our town. And if the people that did want this would have stepped forward and said, this is what we want, we work for them. And you have to go with what the people want. We have to vote with what the people want. And when you have a room full of people that says, no way, we don't want this, that kind of outweighs the people that say, no, we want this, bring it on in. So if you want your voice to be heard, let's fill the room.
I invited her
And-
to come, next meeting, the couple, and explain what they explained to me. I
Well,
said, you
here's
have
another
every
thing.
right to come. I yield to my
And
counsel.
I apologize for interrupting you, but Mr. Martin's had 20 years to do something for this town, and he hasn't done much, if anything. So anybody, he can come up and say, well, I'll do this and I'm going to do that. Well, you've had 20 years to do something, and what have you done? What have you done for the borough?
Well, they did build a new building,
Yeah.
the one that was there. I mean, your dad's
Yeah,
garage, they
sure.
didn't use that. They
That
tore
was J.J. Powell owned that business, so
Oh,
that
okay.
property, so
But
that was 20 years ago,
yeah.
you know, and.
Now they're ready to make a change, and they thought it was for the good of the borough. And that's why I voted like I did, but I don't drink. It don't mean anything to me,
But you know, Reverend Spade, it's all in moderation.
yeah.
It's not like,
Yeah, not everybody's an alcoholic, you know.
you know, there's municipal properties to alcohol. You know, a glass of wine has municipal properties to it. You know, it's not like, it's not like you have to go and, you know, see how much you can drink yourself under the table. You know, that's where the difference comes in.
Right.
And there's,
I know your argument.
right. You know,
Had some good times in the past with alcohol.
I can't relate to somebody who smokes. I've never smoked. I can't relate to somebody who has that addiction to alcohol because I don't. So, you know, for me, I can't, you know, sympathize, you know, with what you're going through because I'm not going through that. They are. So, you know, for me to even say anything, I can't. You know, that's for them to deal with. I just can't.
I just deal with the bad side of it, that a person I have to help them through that type of situation. That's why I'm against it. But as we were told, this borough should only have one liquor license in it. That's the law. But we have 3 liquor licenses in a little borough. So to put a fourth one in, wow, you know. But if he said the case that I brought up was not applicable to this county, but other jurisdictions have dismissed it because the real jurisdiction for this is the Commonwealth Board of Liquor Control. They are the ones, so that was dismissed because of subject jurisdiction. I don't know whether our honorable judge is going to feel the same way. He could, and
Who knows?
They're saying
It's
we
in his hands.
need 4 churches for as many people as in town, you know? Really, I mean, that's,
it would be nice if we all went to the same church.
yeah, there's only one God, so.
Anything else?
Uh,
I don't know.
Seems like I should say something, but it's not. I forget what it was. I tried to type up my talking points real quick, if they would have been recognized. But that's,
Do you have something that needs recognized?
I don't have my paperwork with me, so I'll yield it to the next time. I want to thank the counselors again. This is money for streets, and it doesn't affect our liquid fuel funding. Wow. That, when she said that to us, you know, that gives us another door that we can get.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Thank you, Counselor.
Any opposed? Amen. 50-minute meeting. We're good.
That's the way,
You're all invited to Paul Knowles' luncheon
really fast.
he just died on 19th. and they had the services at 7 o'clock.
Okay, sure.
And they're having a luncheon at Josie's.
Do you want me to?
We're all.
What's